Is Barbie an old-fashioned stereotype? Well, Malcolm, welcome to Mark and Pete. Here's a thought.
Pink it and shrink it. A Barbie world is bright and pink, and the colourful Ken is a lovely link. But for those going green, it creates a stink. With so much plastic, it makes you think. Yes, the latest Barbie movie is out and has got mixed reviews.
Yep.
Some people think that it's painfully funny, and in fact to the point where it's hilarious throughout.
Oh,
but some of the reviews really raise the fact that it's an imperfect film for many reasons. In some cases, people are referring to the film where it stumbles somewhat in its handling of its characters, albeit that they are colourful, literally, and they mostly are used as devices to push the stereotypical Barbie and Ken narratives. To that point, many people are also referring to the doll itself. It's made of plastic, and it has been since its beginning. And that is an environmental concern.
Yeah.
I ask you, Clergyman Pete, first of all, what do you think about glorifying the brand of Barbie, and has it now been a bit too much tarnished with a stereotypical image of what a girl should be?
Well, businessman Mark, it does seem unusual. It does seem an anachronism to still have Barbie dolls in this day and age with so many different heroines and princesses from fairy stories being reinvented. The Barbie doll still remains in an old-fashioned, ultra-feminine look, which seems to me to be out of place with the current views of women as important parts of the working community. You know, it just doesn't fit with what's often said a woman's role. And it's not even a woman's role within the family, you know. But the Barbie and the Barbie doll doesn't look like your mum, unless you've got a very strange mum. It looks like a celebrity girlfriend, as we've now, you know, celebrity culture has grown up after the Barbies.
Oh, yes.
It looks like a 1950s movie version of what a woman should look like. And so, you know, there's a new movie out, the new Barbie movie is out, which I believe is quite funny. Mrs. Clergyman Pete, my wife, and children have all been to see the movie today and tell me it's quite funny. So that's just a review I brought for you there.
What an endorsement.
That's quite an endorsement. But I didn't go to see it because, as I pointed out to them, there's not enough guns and explosions in it. But apparently there was a car chase. But this idea that you can still have this sort of view of femininity in this day and age, you know, is it anachronistic? I think it is anachronistic, but I think there's, what I would say from my point of view, is there is a positive side and a negative side to it. But yeah, it does seem old-fashioned.
Yes. Well, I'm going to come in from a business angle, and that is that there's no doubt that the brand Barbie is iconic. It has lasted the test of time for decades. It was originally started on the March the 9th, 1959. Now, this is a fashion doll which was manufactured by the American toy company Mattel. Now, what it did was it basically took the principle of a businesswoman called Ruth Handler, and she is credited with the creation of the doll based upon a German doll called Bild Lilly, and that was the inspiration. This doll has evolved and certainly has grown because the doll itself made of plastic. And Clergyman Pete, how many dolls do you think have been produced to date, in your opinion?
Oh, altogether, during the whole
yes.
period of production?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be millions every year. So I'm going to... how many years did you say it's been produced? Or did you say?
Since 1959. So
okay, so quite a long. So over 60 years. So, yeah. So if we're talking about millions every year, I'm going to say, say 500 million, 500 million.
Yeah. Well, actually, they have sold over 1 billion Barbie
Oh,
dolls,
okay.
making it Mattel's largest and most profitable line. Not surprising. And one of the reasons why is because, quite cleverly, they've expanded the Barbie world, meaning you can buy dolls' houses, you can buy accessories, and of course, you have the friends of Barbie, like Ken
Of
and many
course.
other things.
Yeah.
So the point here is that as a brand, as from a commercial perspective, it really has done exceptionally well. Now, what we do know is that, say, for example, in some of the recent um, profits that have happened, that in 2020, not that long ago, but Mattel sold $1.35 billion worth of Barbie dolls and accessories. So it's not the number of units, but it's the number of profits, that's the actual selling, the sales growth. That's extraordinary as we think of any product that you're trying to sell into the consumer market. It's a big seller. But the thing that has been criticized here is that it's very stereotypical. So we know that it was born out of the 1950s, going into the 1960s, and it has evolved and adjusted slightly, but primarily the basic structure of the doll is the same. That's a lot of plastic, first of all, that many people are concerned
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
wanting to be more eco-friendly. But the other thing is the stereotypical image. It has evolved. There are other types of Barbie dolls where they've got brown hair, there's a black Barbie, and so on. But the thing here is that whilst we sort of made some amusement of the Barbie movie, which again is just really sort of extracting from the principle of a fun movie, is it really sort of not sort of hiding the real underlying current? Is it still a white doll with blonde hair? And many people have criticized Mattel for not evolving the actual doll, because a lot of young girls have sort of seen that that's the image to be successful, particularly with the weight issues, bulimia issues, and many other medical professions have been concerned about this. This is well documented. So, Clergyman, I say, are we perhaps being a bit too sensitive with the principle of Barbie, or is it time now to sort of say, let's consign it to the past?
Yeah, no, and I was talking about the positives and negatives earlier. This is the time for me to bring in my views on this, because some of the negatives you then highlighted are actually, to me, positives. I think women trying to look feminine for their husbands and maybe to get a husband is a good thing. And I think that it's part of that part of traditional roles is good. The fact that she's white as an American doll, where by far the vast majority of people are white, to me is an irrelevance. I don't see the point of changing the colour. It just seems stupid. Invent a new doll then. Get India to invent their own doll or wherever it is. That's just that's a red herring. But in terms of her being as a feminine, people think over-sexualised. I don't see it like that. I mean, does she have... she has breasts, but they're not absolutely massive. She has a slim figure, but it's not ridiculously contorted, and she's looks quite slim and fit, as though she does some exercise. So I see that as a positive. I think there are too many people these days are too fat. And my own change in weight is well documented on this show. That I did put on some weight and I took it off again, because it's important to do that. And there's no point people saying to me, no, you look fine as you are. You to say, no, Peter, you look fat. Get rid of it. And I think the same should be for young girls. Yeah, there's a problem with girls obsessing on their body image, but there's also a problem with girls overeating and getting too fat. So I don't see having a slim, attractive girl as the basis for Barbie is a problem. That's not one of the issues. What the issues has been was when it looks... is what toys do they sell with it? Well, it's usually a kitchen and a barbecue set, so she can play outside. I mean, are they limiting what you expect Barbie to do? There's a possible negative there, but don't we see Barbie, the Barbie doll, as being like some sort of celebrity movie starlet type. So not necessarily what we are aiming for or what the girls are aiming for. I don't know. I don't see that necessarily as a negative, particularly if you bring in the other Barbies that have been mentioned, that are friends. I often on this show have criticised the decisions of big companies and criticised especially movies for their portrayal of women, but I think that they've done the best that they can here. I'm not a fan of Barbie, but then I'm not the target demographic.
No.
But broadly, I'm in favour of what they've done, and I think it's positive to have a pretty attractive woman who's confident and who appears to be not unhappy with doing domestic chores as part of what she does, but there are other things she does as well. And she has her boyfriend Ken, who looks like he adores her and tries to dress like her, similar styles to her. It seems to me that it's in many ways a good role model.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I'm going to close out from a commercial side. It's a great seller. And at the end of the day, when you have a brand that's very, very successful, you don't want to lose it. So, from that side, definitely there's a lot that can be done. Interestingly, that for those collectors of Barbie dolls, particularly for the original ones, if you've got them in their original boxes, they are worth thousands of US dollars and maybe even more, because they're becoming collectible, especially if you've got them through the decade. So keep saving, keep investing. Certainly from that side, it's a commodity. Now, on the other side, Clergyman Pete, I think we should open it up to our listeners. What do they think about the brand of Barbie and what it really means to them?
Yeah, let us know. You can get in touch with the show. Just simply go to markandpete.com. Make sure you're subscribed and leave a message. Or you can, you may even be listening to this on Twitter, you could just tweet us back, let us know what you think. It's broadcast on the account Peter Timothy Cooper. That's me of Mark and Pete. So please do let us know there. And I'll just close with the negative view that I talked about, which is, of course, that it appears to portray a doll where too much emphasis is put on outward appearance, and the Bible clearly teaches that it's what's inside you that matters. A good tree, it says in Matthew 7:18, cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. So I think things like the movie can bring out those particular issues. Say what's inside is what's important, but as a doll, it does seem, with all the outfits and the type of appearance, well made up appearance that she has, that it does seem to be encouraging people to look at outward appearance rather than inner appearance. That's the only negative criticism that I really have of it. Other than that, I think they're quite expensive, especially if you have more than one girl as a child. But that's it from us from Mark and Pete. I think we've done an excellent reassessment of the Barbie doll. More scintillating content next time. See you later. And don't forget to always remember to subscribe.